Hi, my name is Dr. Patrick Graham, and I am an architect of human assets. One of the life lessons that I've learned that's really stuck with me is that you can never underestimate the human assets that are around you. There are people all around us every day that we can learn from, be inspired by. And so I'm really into actually honoring those people who are in your hometown, those people that make a difference in your life in very intimate ways. It's one of the greatest lessons I've ever learned. For me, when I think of a made man, I'm really thinking about someone who first understands that they didn't make it on their own, that everyone needs a break. And while it's important that we study, it's important that we do things for ourselves, we must realize that we're all interdependent. And so I've really learned over time that there were people in my life that inspired me, and there were people in my life who helped make me. And then it was up to me to actually take those lessons and add something new to them. So when I think of a made man, I'm really thinking of someone who's acknowledging and thankful for the gifts that have been bestowed on them by others. Well, if I had a chance to talk to my younger self, I think one of the things I would really focus on is how to be more methodical about decision making. What are the things that you need to consider when you're making decisions? As young people, we often just react and don't always see the larger world around us. And so I would want to talk to that young man and let him know there are other things to consider when making decisions. There are people, there's timing, and there are also consequences. And so for a lot of us, we don't think of those things as young people. Um, One of the things I can say, though, that I had great people that were around me at first that I didn't even realize influenced me. I didn't think about a guy by the name of Deacon Minchin who actually took me under his wing while at church and actually made me part of his family along with my best friend who was his son. I didn't really always understand that a guy by the name of Hubert Biff Moore, who ran the Martin Luther King Center where I live, was actually grooming and mentoring me that one day I would actually become the executive director of that same institution. So mentoring is so important because it sets examples for us. But more important, it actually provides us a window to see possibilities of the future. I'm a deep believer in this, that if necessity is the mother of invention, then surely exposure is the father of innovation. And I believe that by exposing young people, we actually allow them to begin to innovate, and mentors do that. Well, I've learned over time, and I've experienced many challenges to actually have spiritual, godly patience. Um, the reality is that many things that we go through, many obstacles that we face, others have faced them before. You often feel like you're on some island alone. That's when you actually realize too who your real friends are, who those who are really close to you. And so I would say that many times I've used those close friends and asked God to give me guidance to put the right people around me as I go through certain circumstances. And it's made me actually a better person for it, but also it makes me realize even more why we have to nurture the talent of others. As a made man for over 21 years, I've worked in the social sector trying to empower young men and women to reach their best potential through education, through workforce and entrepreneurial development, and through social skills. And so that same commitment I have today, um, I use that by actually not just participating in leading programs for young people, but I also actually use my academic writing to actually advocate for policies for these young people. And the reason that I feel both are important is that we have to be able to operate on the ground, but also make our systems more equipped to provide opportunities for young people, particularly young black men, who oftentimes are not empathetic or sympathetic victims of our systems. And so we have to actually look at them as assets. And the one thing I will commit to is to continue to advocate for these young people, particularly young black men who need us now more than ever. But more important, we need them now more than ever. I also want to acknowledge our partners and supporters, the Made Man Foundation, Wells Fargo, the National Urban League, Miller's Coors, Ciroc BS, United Nations, Upscale Magazine, and EDU Inc. And please join us on November 29th at the Piper Glen Golf Club, where you can come out and receive and celebrate Made Men.